What if a single mistake could change the entire course of two lives forever? Imagine a city of 80 million people and a lunchbox delivery system so precise it is studied by Harvard, and yet, in the middle of all that clockwork perfection, a miracle happens. A letter meant for no one finds exactly who it needs to. This isn't just a movie about food or missed connections. It's a story about the quiet ache of loneliness and the unexpected courage it takes to hope again. The Lunchbox is a rare breathing gem that reminds us why we fell in love with cinema in the first place, proving that sometimes the most profound revolutions happen in the silence between heartbeats. In the bustling, chaotic heart of Mumbai, we meet Ayla, a young housewife trying to cook her way back into her husband's cold heart, and Sajan Fernandez, acclaimed solicitor on the very edge of a solitary grey retirement. When a legendary Mumbai dabawala delivers Ila's special lunch to Sajan by mistake, a dialogue begins. It isn't through spoken words, but through the aroma of spices and the ink of handwritten notes tucked into stainless steel containers. What starts as into a deep, soul-bearing exchange. These two strangers, separated by age, social standing, and the physical distance of a vast, indifferent city, begin to inhabit each other's worlds. Through their letters, they share the things they can't tell the people sitting right next to them, their regrets, their hidden joys, and the crushing weight of being forgotten. The brilliance of the screenplay lies in its absolute restraint. It doesn't rely on grand gestures or dramatic outbursts. Instead, it focuses on the beauty of the mundane. We see character development not through long monologues, but through the way Sajan begins to stand a little straighter, or the way Ila begins to look at the horizon with a newfound longing. The introduction of the characters is masterfully slow. We get to know them as they get to know each other. The film uses the concept of the dabawala as more than just a plot device. It's a metaphor for the rigid, predictable tracks our lives often run on. When that track breaks, even for a moment, it allows for a human connection in traditional, glossy romances. The psychology at play here is fascinating, quite haunting. Sajan is a man who has closed his doors to the words to a world hardened by years of routine and past he's tried to bury under piles of paperwork. Ila is a woman trapped in a transparent box, visible to everyone but seen by no one, not even the man she shares a bed with. When they connect, they aren't just falling in love with a person. They are falling in love with the version of themselves that the other person brings to life. The film explores the idea that it isn't about getting what you want, but about understanding what you truly need. Master, there is a specific quote in the film that resonates throughout the entire narrative. Sometimes the wrong train takes you to the right station. This sentiment anchors the movie, giving us permission to find beauty in our errors and hope in our accidents. Visually, the film is a love letter to the textures of Mumbai. The cinematography captures the steam rising from a pan, the grit of the local train, and the soft, dusty light of an old office with a tactile intimacy. It's not glossy Bollywood, it's lived in, textured, and real. You can almost smell the cardamom and the old paper. This visual honesty complements the acting performances, which are nothing short of legendary. Irfan Khan delivers a masterclass in subtlety. With just a slight softening of his eyes or a hesitant tilt of his head, he conveys decades of unspoken grief and a sudden terrifying spark of joy. Nimrat Kaur matches him beat for beat, portraying Ila with a vulnerability that is never weak but rather deeply resilient. Their chemistry is extraordinary precisely because it exists entirely in our imagination, fueled by the strength of their written words. As the story progresses toward its climax, the emotional stakes reach a fever pitch. We find ourselves desperately rooting for them to meet to break the cycle of the isolation. But the film takes a turn that is both heartbreaking and profoundly mature. When they finally arrange to meet at a hotel, the reality of their situation, the age gap, the social constraints, the sheer weight of their separate life comes crashing down. The scene where Sajan watches Ila from a distance, Seeing her youth and her hope against his own aging reflection is one of the most powerful moments in cinematic history. He chooses to leave before she can see him. It isn't an act of cowardice, it is a profound act of love. He loves her enough to realize that his present tether her to a past he is trying to escape rather than the future she deserves. He chooses her happiness over his own desire, up demonstrating a level of maturity that we rarely see on screen. There is a weight to that decision that many younger audiences might miss. It is the realization that love isn't just about the meet cute or the grand confession. It's about the timing of two lives. Sajan looks at his hands, looks at his reflection, and realizes he is an old man. That moment of self-reflection is devastating. It highlights the resemblance between the two, not in age, but in their shared desperation for a life that feels meaningful. They are both looking for an exit from their current reality, and for a brief moment, they found it in a piece of paper. The ending of the film is a stroke of genius. Some might find the ambiguity frustrating, but in reality, it is the only way the story could truly end. By leaving the conclusion open, the director invites us to carry the characters with us. The film treats the audience with such high regard, never spoon feeding us the answers. While many mainstream movies focus on the happily ever after, the Lunchbox focuses on the perhaps. It respects the audience's intelligence and trusts us to feel the weight of the character's decisions. It's a film that stays with you long after the credits roll, it's making you look at the strangers around you with a bit more curiosity and a lot more empathy. The relationship between Ella and her neighbor auntie, whom we never see but only hear, adds another layer of depth, showing how connections can exist even through a window or a vent. It builds a world where loneliness is the common language and a simple meal is the ultimate bridge. Honestly, I wish Bollywood would give us more stories like this, stories that don't need item numbers or over the top action to move the soul. This movie proves that you don't need a massive budget or a foreign honesty. Even if the rest a world class story, if the rest of the world missed this, I'm glad I didn't. It's a reminder that in a world of instant messaging and digital noise, a handwritten note and a shared meal can still be the most powerful things in the world. Looking back, the Lunchbox is a celebration of the quiet moments that define us. It teaches us that love isn't always about possession, sometimes it's about the courage to let go and the strength to move forward. It's a masterpiece of atmosphere, acting, and soul. But I want to know what you think. Did the ending leave you feeling hopeful, or did it break your heart just a little too much? Have you ever felt a connection with someone you've never actually their work, just through their words or their work? What did this about it in the comments below? Let's talk about because stories like this are meant to be shared. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Tomorrow we return with another unforgettable film. Until then, keep looking for the magic in the mistakes.